Fantastic. We're doing session 2 of our live stream today. Got to set a couple things up first before we get started. And let's go live. Let's see, where did I lose my hair tie? I need to just find one good place to leave my hair tie. I'll be right back. So we're about to start paint session 2 here. As soon as I find a way to keep my hair tied in the back. There we go. All right, so this live stream for YouTube, let's see, we got Riley. What's up, Riley? How you doing? So this live stream that we're doing is, I just watched a Robert Greene video on Instagram, and it said, life is short. It's shorter than you think. It's shorter than you feel it is. And, you know, it made me get to thinking, you know, to get my butt off the couch, stop streaming, and get myself to making some art. And I hope that I can somehow share and relay that message to viewers as well, of life being short. It's not it's not as long as you think it is. And hey, thanks. Can you see her? Where is she? Where'd she go? Oh, you see her down there? Is she hiding? Fern? Yeah, she's hiding down there. Thanks. Fern, come here. Oh, what you doing? Yeah, the cat's hiding down there. She's a a skeptical one. And I have this interesting can of water. It's in a can, a thing of water. It's in a can. Hey, thanks. Most stupid comment. What's up? Yes, she was. She is very adorable. Like, can you believe my girlfriend rescued her? So she was originally supposed to be a foster, but my girlfriend rescued her from some horrible people. They found her with like her tail broken or something. So you got no power right now. What do you mean by that, no power? What kind of power are you looking for? Stupid comment. So I'm throwing on some gloves and I'm gonna get my supplies ready. Yeah. So part of her tail, still, if you like touch the back of her tail, like at the very tip of her tail, you can feel that her tail is it's still bent in like half, and I don't think anyone ever repaired it when they got her from the shelter or whatever. They never, I don't think it's repairable. So sadly, she has like this thing at the very end of the painting. Trippy painting, thank you. Hurricane happened. Okay. Trippy painting, thank you. Yeah, I like started painting this, and I didn't expect that this is what it was going to turn out as, but I think it has there's a positive idea here. And all I really want to do, honestly, I'm probably going to leave it pretty much like this, but I do want to go into some of these faces and update some details within the faces here. But other than that, I think I'm pretty much pretty happy where this is at, honestly. So let's see, how's everyone going? I'm doing. Did I make the art in the back too? Yeah, so that's my painting, that's my painting. That is not mine, that was done by somebody. It's like my girlfriend's grandmother. But Gojo fangirl, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody that's here. Did I make the art in the back? Can you see my bird? Let me see, can you see her? Wonder if no, there we go. Can you see her right there in the corner? Just kind of peeking out. Like peeking out right there. Little bird right there. But anyway, I'm going to do this ear. Actually, I want to finish this face here. And I'm going to add some of the details of the flesh. And I'm going to add some of these details of the flesh here. So we're going to find like a light version of this tan color that we have. We need to lighten this up a bit. We're going to get some highlights. Quite a collection of animals. Yeah, well we got one cat, two birds. One cat, two birds. One cat and two birds. And that's enough for us. We do foster kittens. So we foster kittens when they're available to us, but they're not always readily available to us, unfortunately. So I wish I could foster so many more kittens. I love kittens. Who doesn't love a kitten? How can you not love an adorable little kitten? I don't understand how anybody could not. It's like the cutest thing. Kittens are the most adorable things. So you're not actually able to have pets since of allergies, but you still love animals. Well, at least you can, at least now, you can go on YouTube and just like watch animal videos all day. I know that doesn't quite get the itch there, but I think it's a positive step in the right direction at least, right? So here I am just working on adding some extra highlight into our figure here. And this is going to help to create a shape. The shape of our figure. And how long have I been doing art? So I've been doing art for going on like 4.5, 5 years now. Hey, all right, we got some musicians on my TikTok live. What's going on, everybody? I have to mute my live stream on TikTok because my YouTube channel requires my attention. But I hope you're all doing fantastic, TikTok. And here we go. So what I'm working on now is just capturing some of the light and the dark spaces. The separation between the shadow and the light. And what we have here is a mustache. So we're going to go and figure out this mustache in a little bit. But now that we have this face, we have a little bit of variety as far as the light and shadow goes. You got a kitten 3 weeks ago. Yo, congrats. Thanks, stupid comment, for tuning in. This is all totally interactive. Busior, what do you mean? Huh. So were you replying to my art? How long have I been doing art? So I've been doing art for going on 4 or 5 years, but this is my this is my work that I've only I've only started painting seriously about a year ago. A little bit over a year ago now. And let's go with this ear. We're going to add some more detail to the ear, some highlight to this ear. Five to 4 years of art. So I started with digital art, actually. I didn't do painting. I didn't actually start off as a painter. I started off in digital art, did lots of drawings, got like a lot of commissions as a drawing, doing like drawing and stuff. And then I moved into physical art. I mean, digital art. I did digital art. Wasn't doing too well with that. The thing that I didn't like about digital art was the fact that, all of it was moving at such a fast pace with AI and everything that honestly, I didn't think I would be able to have much success in it. I didn't feel like it was something that I would do well in. So I quickly made a transition. I quickly made a transition to physical medium after just a few months, and I've been at this ever since. But yes. I don't know for. All right, take care, Busior. Commentor, here, welcome. Hello, commenter. What's up with you? I like seeing new faces in this live stream. Let's do this bigger head right now. which I'm going to go for an even darker, lighter highlight right here. Crystal art is nice because if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. It's art no matter. Hey, take care, Riley. Yeah, so traditional art, I love. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I like traditional art too. By the way, I mean, thanks for bringing that up. I totally didn't even remember to mention that. But that was the other thing about digital art that I didn't enjoy was that with digital art, there's almost no excuse not to be perfect. Almost, right? Like everything can be measured out to the exact measurement that you want anything to be, and there's like no room. There's no reason to have a mistake because you can edit Control Z, Control Y, and I just didn't like that idea. That idea didn't appeal to me, and ever since I felt that way, I decided to totally go to make a shift to physical art or traditional physical mediums, I should say. Oh, my art is definitely based off stuff. I use it as a reference for all but my most abstract pieces. So right now, I'll show you in a minute, but let me finish this one section right here. So I will share a secret to my work here in a moment. This is actually based off a very classical painting style from the 1800s. Actually not a painting style, but a drawing style. These are based off of drawings from the 1800s. And I'm just adding my own spin and twist to things as I feel like I should. So here we go. Before I get too caught up into this painting, let me share with you how I do this. So my artwork is based off of Charles Berg's and I think John Leon Jerome or something like that. They made this collection of plates that you're supposed to learn how to draw from back in the 1800s. So I'm doing a series based on these things, and although these are all black and white drawings, I love the idea of working with them because it forces me to make color decisions, which I think coloring is the thing that separates art from drawing. So this way, I can look at drawings, but I'm not necessarily tied to the drawing itself. I do have the opportunity to freely interpret and create my own style of work. But, in the truth of everything, it might be hard to believe, but I am no Picasso. I'm not a person who's going to come up with a new movement such as Cubism. Most of my styles are basically my style is just one big massive combination of everything I've seen or experienced in art. And I think in a modern age with technology and everything, um, I think it's really quite a skill to come up with something different when you lived back in the day, like, when you lived back in prior to the internet, obviously, because you didn't have access to every single art piece that was ever created. You don't have access, we didn't have access to that back in those days. You have to actually visit as many museums as you possibly could and sit there and study. But now my Instagram feed is bombarded with every living and dead artist available. And through that, I have the opportunity to just totally absorb anything and everything related to art. And I'm not going to pretend like I've seen it all, but I've seen so much that I don't know what's my idea and what's somebody else's ideas anymore. I've become an artist that was trained by the internet. Now, I do know some of the artists that I study the most: Vincent van Gogh, Egon Schiele. I look at a lot of Picasso's work. Obviously, this material right here, I have a series based off of, obviously, so this material is obviously an influence on me. Anyway, Caitlin brought, well, it's really good. How long have you been practicing art? Caitlin Broad, thank you. So how long have I been practicing art? I've been practicing art for going on 4.5, 5 years. And I was mentioning to somebody else, I started off with physical art, or what am I saying? Digital art. I started off with digital art, and I've since moved to physical art. But and part of what prompted that move was simply because I didn't feel as if I could compete with AI. I know that sounds silly, but I just didn't like where digital art was going as far as being a digital artist, and I thought I'd move into physical art. And honestly, when I moved into digital art, when it comes to digital art, you can let your perfectionist take over. And what I mean by that is with physical art, it's so easy to edit a mistake. Control Z. Hey Zola, welcome. Good to see ya. So Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control Z, Control Shift Z, Control Z. If you don't know what I'm saying, it's basically redo and undo a line. So you can in just a matter of a minute, you can draw the same line 100 times until you've perfected it. And while I think that creating masterpieces that are absolutely perfect in every way is, I'm sure there's a market for that, there's a niche for that, there's a appreciation for that. It's not me. That is a limitation for me because I will be the type of person that presses it 100 times. But I found that with physical art, wow, Zola, what's going on? How you doing? You've been, thanks so much. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to give Zola a shout out here. Let me throw the name Zola here. I'm gonna carve your name into one of these somehow. Let's see. Let's go with let's do it right in this red collar. We're going to put some yellow lettering in this red collar here. I wonder if this will even hold because the red's very dense. Or let's see, or maybe into this blue lettering right here. Because in the lettering, in the collar, it might look kind of weird. All right, so I have carved thank you Zola for being my #1 gifter right now to this bottom section. And you know what would be funny is if one day someone does get confused and they think this is Zola's signature, which, whatever, I don't know. I will put my signature somewhere else at some point, but I don't know. People will have to know the artist to figure out this mystery of who the actual artist is. But I did put thank you in front of it. Thank you, Zola. I like to include the names of people who help to support my channel. So, yeah. Shading is actually really nice. You don't understand the color theory, but it seems like I do. Wait, I have a cat. Sorry, this is off topic, but I saw something moving in the background. Fern, where'd you go? Yeah, she's over there. Yeah, the cat's over there somewhere. She's behind the mess here. Let's see. Can we get this angle? I don't know if you can see her. She just moved off the table. Let's see if we can see it from this side. Can we get a peek? No. No. Well, she's over there somewhere. Hey, commenter, thanks so much. Yeah, I've got 2 cats. Cats are amazing. You started a new canvas, then you got lazy. Hey, cool. So here's a question. Did you actually get lazy or did you just lose motivation for that specific painting? And I only ask because sometimes when I feel like I'm getting lazy, it's because like I feel uninspired by a work that I'm working on, or like, you know, I feel like just something's not clicking as far as what I'm doing. But I actually like where this is at, this piece. It's kind of like in a good place right now. Mark Dietz, have I ever tried landscapes? Yeah, I do a lot of landscapes. I have a lot of landscapes. Let's see, here's my last landscape. Oh, hopefully it's dry. Some of my paint has gone on here, but here's one of my recent landscapes. This is like an ocean view. I was really playing with the variety of techniques for the water. It seems I'm getting paint on it. Yellow paint, which doesn't match, but that's okay. So we're gonna go with that, and let's stick this on top of here. I don't really care about that paint. Oh shoot! Making a mess of my artwork. Trying no lazy because you ate like 4 lamb chops. Yeah, I usually need a nap after I eat a heavy protein meal like that. I'm no stranger to naps. So this is today. Yeah, protein can make someone lazy for sure. I feel like leaving these strokey brush marks in this space here. Have you been live recently? I haven't seen. You're trying more background stuff for your art because you need to progress. Hey, that's cool. Thank you for. I'm actually glad that you came in and just decided to share some of the stuff that you're working on, some of the things that you're looking to challenge yourself with. And yeah, I definitely think the background can be a challenging thing when you're changing it up. I noticed you use a pretty standard like blue color. I wasn't sure. I think I saw one of your lives or one of your videos, and you said that that's like the color of the actual canvas itself. Is it's a blue? So Mark Dietz, have I ever tried landscapes? So I have like a few landscapes. Some of them are in print as well. But right now, let's see. I'm gonna go with this dark and brown. I need to fix up my shadows in this figure here, get rid of some of these white spots that I've left. And I want to tighten up some of the shadows here, like this shadow. Should be up a little higher. And this shadow needs to come down a bit. And working on editing out these shadows in the center here. Blue's a wonderful color. And you know what? Maybe that's your thing. But at the same time, part of you is saying, hey, I need to work on my background. So, you know, maybe there's some way that you can keep the blue, but, you know, play with the background. Okay, the only art you see me do, this is just a series that I've been working on. One thing that keeps me motivated painting, Caitlin, is having a project that I can just keep working on, right? And if you're constantly trying to make up something totally from the ether, I think it becomes really difficult to keep at it because you have to spend so much energy, creative energy, just coming up with the idea. But I definitely find that when I'm able to, when I can just repeat an idea over and over, like I did a series of drawings, or based on Vincent van Gogh's drawings, or if I do something like that, it helps because I'm not so stressed about trying to come up with the idea. I can just go project to project. So that's why when you see what the work I do, I'll have like just these multiple streams of just doing the same things, or not the same thing, but similar things over and over. And when I jump to something new, I'll usually jump to it for a much longer time period, like, you know, maybe a week or two. So yeah, although you know, what's funny is I think I jump around a lot. What's up, Tony 10K Tony? How you doing? To everyone watching this out, you can learn how to paint from him. Can't do what I do. Wow, Zola. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for those wonderful words. And you know, I really appreciate it. At the end of the day, you know, I believe that all artists are ultimately just seeking the ways to express themselves in the best way possible. And for me, it's just, you know, I just repeat ideas. Part of me wants to, you know, like be like, you know what, Zolo, like, give like a motivational pep talk there. But thank you so much, and you know, I really appreciate that. Zola, you know, I think you do some very authentic work that really represents what you're thinking about. And I don't know whether your ideas come from your mind or what, but you know, you are a very creative person based on what I've seen, and if that's all from your imagination, that's powerful. That's not necessarily the work that I do. So there are things that you do that are very great as well, and I hope that you see it. Hope that you can recognize that as well. What's up, Busior? Welcome back, Busior. How are you doing today? I ask you how you're doing like every single time, right? So let's see. I'm gonna add an outline around this ear here. I'm gonna add an even darker highlight right down here to shape off the ear. And there we go. Paint down some of this, paint down some of this, and we're gonna go. By the way, everybody, what's a two-cheek plaque? Your art gets a two-cheek plaque. I don't know what that means, two-cheek. I guess I have to let some of the blue invade into my painting here. And let's see, Busior fam. That's so good though. Rishad Taleg Onkar. Yeah, you're doing art. It's sometimes hard to think of an idea too, but if I just sit in one spot for a while, eventually something comes to me. Oh, two-cheek plaque. Your art is doo-doo. Zola, what's going on? What has got you down about your art? Let's talk about this. It sounds like, you've been really deep in your head and your thoughts, and maybe you're letting some things get to you as far as your artwork is concerned. Let's talk about that. Oh, all right. Okay, good. Yeah, it's hard to tell solely with the voice. So I'm glad that you're not doing as bad as you were joking. I appreciate the self-deprecating humor. I was really starting to feel concerned there for a moment. Like, can't do that to me. So Boost Your Fam likes to do random stuff in the room. Well, that's good. So Caitlin, yeah, I read about this one artist, and she said something like, I asked her if she does have any weird rituals when it comes to coming up with art, and she said her weird rituals is sitting in the bathroom staring at the tiles. And I know it's not nice to laugh at that because she was being open with me about how she basically does her artwork. So I wasn't really laughing at the idea, but she laughed at it herself too, and she was just being open and honest. Like, yeah, I like to just sit in the bathroom and stare at tiles, and that's how she came up with her ideas. And you can't help but admire that everybody's got their own system, their own process, and their own way of coming up with something new. And you know, my process isn't necessarily a totally new concept, but just you just look at color palettes to help or sleep. That's a cool creative process. So you just look at different. So you go online, look for like famous people's color palettes, and then you kind of study those color palettes. Sleeping on is also very good. I love to sleep on artwork. If I'm like feeling stuck, I'll probably go take a nap, or just sign off and stop for the day. Maybe I'll stop for a week and go do something else for a week. But Lucio, when you say you like to do random stuff in your room, do you mean like painting, or are you just sharing a fun fact about yourself? And here we go. We need a and here we go. Got this ear, got this mouth. I think I might want to add a little bit of highlight right here around this shape. I like how this is carved out, but I don't really like where this is carved out. So we'll go right there. Let's bring in some of this color here. So, any color palette, not just famous people. So Zola, I'm really curious. Where do you? I think you mentioned to me before there was an artist that you told me about, and I don't remember his name, but basically I remember him doing like a couple of. He did a couple of paintings that were very based off of Vincent van Gogh. I can't remember the exact artist that I looked at, but I think they based their drawing, some of their ideas off of Vincent's work, which I thought was really nice. Like one of his mailman or his fisherman portrait. What are my thoughts on pull-ups versus booty ups? What is a booty up? Caitlin, some people need to clear their mind to draw, and maybe that's the word. Yeah, totally. Totally. Everybody has their own way. And you know what? Maybe I will discover an amusing way of clearing my mind too. I mean, I probably have some interesting ways that I clear my mind or prepare for artwork that aren't even conscious to me. That aren't even consciously done, but I just end up doing them just because. So here we go. I've started on creating some of the dimension with this, and what I think needs to happen now is to spend some time on the hair. So I'm gonna spend some time on the hair right now. Yikes. And you know what? I actually want to carve this face a little bit. So I need to carve out this face. Just saw my palette knife somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I need to carve out this face a bit. I like that this kind of ends like right in front of the eyes. So I want to carve this down and right down here in front of the eye. There we go. That's a little better. I like that. That was a nice touch. It's a really subtle detail, but I felt like it was important as I'm like looking at it from this angle. You probably couldn't tell the difference between before and now, but I could. Karen Cedillo, all you can draw is a stickin' bravo. It's when you clench the bar with the booty with the assistance of resistance band. You know, Star Smoth, I would say depends on what you want to work on, right? If you're trying to work on those glute muscles, then the booty ups. If you're trying to work on your back muscles, then go with the pull-ups, dude. You know, I mean, I think you know the answer to that question. But I appreciate you engaging this room in conversation regarding fitness. I can definitely appreciate that. So, wonderful of you to bring up this question of booty ups versus pull-ups. So I've never heard of booty ups until now. I thought booty ups were just a myth. I didn't know they actually existed. But hey, sometimes you need a random internet troll to help make you aware of things. Sometimes internet trolls can be very helpful to help inform you about what's happening in society. Caitlin, you love being here. You're so tired, so I'm going to go. It's late. Hey, Caitlin, thank you so much for being around. Really appreciate it. And if you have any feedback, feel free to share. All I want to do is just keep on helping to paint and create a peaceful, welcoming room that helps to relax you. And I find that a lot of people actually watch me before they go to sleep, and I can't help but wonder, is it because they think it's boring enough to put them to sleep, or because it's relaxing? But anyway, a little bit of humor there. So here we go. We got this ear, got this hair. So I'm gonna add some textures to this hair. I really like how this hair has turned out. I really like this color as it contrasts with the background. And I'm not gonna draw every single strand of hair because that's not what I do. But I know some great artists who do that, and they're incredibly detail-oriented and incredibly talented artists. But I don't see myself drawing every strand. I kind of like it the way it is. I'm almost ready to say that I finished, but I feel like just because I've only worked on this I've probably only worked on this for maybe 3-4 hours. And I feel like it needs more time, but maybe not. Maybe, sometimes you do something and it's just ready to go. You know what? I do need to put more work into this face. That's something I need to do. Before I do that, I want to tighten up this ear. This ear right here has a design here that I need to work on. Do I do mainly studio art, or have I done digital art as well? 9:45 in Illinois. Welcome. Yeah, she'll leave it at that. Don't overthink it. That's right. Do I do mainly studio art? So I do not. I have done digital art. I actually started in digital art, and actually started with getting into the NFT game by making digital art. And then I eventually transitioned into this physical art here. Let's see, I want to tighten up some of these ear details. They look a bit too painted. And I don't mind the brush strokes, I actually like the brush strokes, but sometimes I want them to be specific brush strokes. So here we go, let's move back into this other head. You just want to swing by and say you're now the old. Let's say you can't stay. It's 11, so you love the art. Never stop. Good night. Your voice is relaxing, comforting. Have to go. Good night. Don't stay up too long. Right on, Karen. Maybe I should. Sometimes I wonder if I should slow down my voice and just use my late night FM DJ voice as Mr. I forget his name. Chris Voss likes to call it. He calls it the late night FM DJ voice. And although my voice only goes so deep, I can definitely make something up. So for you, it's always because you come across when it's late. But anyway, you got to go now. So thank you, Caitlin and Karen. Oh yeah, Caitlin, Karen. Okay, so yeah, Caitlin and Karen. Well, I hope to see those names again soon. And here we go. So I'm gonna tighten up these ears here. And we're creating this studio art. I really like those terms though. Star Smoth is the idea of studio art versus just digital art. Yes, most of my art now has totally gone to mostly studio work. I don't do anything digital for the most part. I'm not saying I would be opposed to it, but I have since put my digital art tools in the closet, and I haven't brought them out in a very, very long time. So what I need to do right here, I need to tighten this little curve space right here. I think the cats are trying to say something. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 7:50 p.m.
Oh, it's time for their din-din. That's why they're bugging. Alright, let's go make some din-din for the cats. Be right back. Cats are ready to eat, people. Never leave a cat waiting. They will rip your flesh off when they have the chance. So swap these gloves out, get rid of some garbage while I'm at it. Time to feed some cats, people. Let's go feed these cats. And we'll be right back. Yo, Amy Spot, how you doing today? Great to see a familiar name. Oh, look. I've run out of gloves. I need a new set of gloves. Where are all my gloves? This is garbage. These are used gloves. These are fresh gloves. Oh, on. What are you talking about, Boussior? On what? Amy Spot, what's going on? I see, I think you were the anime artist, right? You're coming up with your own cartoon. Was that you or was that somebody else? Are you the one that said you did that doodle of yourself, that your profile photo is a sketch of you? That's cool. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's take a nice smaller brush. What's a good small brush here? Small brushes are so difficult to maintain. Small brushes are very difficult to maintain. I have quite a tough time with small brushes. They tend to splay out very easily. They don't last very long. Amy Spot, yep, that's you. Yes, on the gloves. Yes. It's important to have gloves because if you don't, your hands could dry up so badly. All right, well, one of my small brushes won't work, so I'm gonna have to put that in my junk pile for a little bit. I'm just gonna have to go with this brush right here. This is a Princeton brush. I usually find good brushes at Michael's. And let's go look for some of these highlight hairs right here. Actually, we want to go for darker, especially for this area. We're going to go for the darker colors here. And we're going to go for the top of the mustache. Go right around. Let's go bring these down here. And you know what we got to do is I need a little bit more shadow around this face. You can already see that I didn't extend the shadow back down far enough. It needs to extend all the way down to the collar here. And maybe, just maybe, I might have pushed it back a little too, maybe made the face a little long, but that's what needs to happen right basically about here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to come down. Right around there. And bring a little bit of a mustache forward. I got this other brush handy and ready to go. So Amy, tell us about your upcoming brilliant anime series. How's that going? Are you about to get published by Funimation? Are you about to become the next great animator, next great anime creator? In Los Angeles, they just had this really big event. I didn't go to it, but there's a big event called Anime Con. It's one of the biggest anime conventions on the planet. And they just hosted that here. I didn't go to it again, but I did hear about it and I heard some really good things. I think it's a massive, massive event that like thousands of people go to. I don't know if you've personally ever heard of it, but yes. It was a massive, massive event. Have you ever been to a major anime convention? Katie Cat, you're not a huge anime fan, nor do you... Oh, did you change your name, Amy Spot? Katie Cat, what's going on? You're not a huge anime fan. Alright, well, what brings you here today? I was only talking about anime because Amy Spot is in a future or current anime publisher. Trying to publish the book that you made. Well, you can do that on Amazon Live or Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. You should, if you want to self-publish, that's a worthwhile platform to look up. Honestly, I think you can even publish like anime on there or manga on there too, which is really cool for any of the creators out there. But yes. So here we go. I've got some shadows that I need to push out of this head here. So we're going to use this to round out some shadows around the head. You have heard of it. Someday you plan on living in an RV soon. So you plan on traveling. You'll go to the convention. Maybe you'll go to the convention. There you go. I said manga. Anime manga. Did I almost say the wrong word? I can't remember. But obviously, you stumble across my stream while binging shorts. Yo, shorts, it is so easy to become consumed by YouTube shorts. Their algorithm gets better and better by the day. And they are just mind-blowing with how they know what I want to watch. So yes, thank you for jumping in while you saw that the stream was live. I appreciate that, and you know, I know that there's so much entertainment out there. Like I'm a person who spent years. Like I've literally been trying to build a YouTube channel for years, and it's only just recently that I finally found like a thing that I felt comfortable doing daily. Like, you know, some people just love shopping and they can build a channel around shopping or vlogging or whatever. But it took me years to figure out something that like I could build a channel around. And it just happened to be art. And I don't know why it took me years. I think in the past I've always been scared of live streaming artwork. You know, it's kind of an intimidating thing. Like, but after spending years trying to build up a YouTube channel, more than I would say, wow, probably almost 8 to 10 years trying to build up a YouTube channel. I remember when I first started, like in 2016, I was just posting like random videos of me like playing piano. I don't have those videos up anymore because I don't play piano anymore. But I've tried building so many channels, and when I say I am grateful to finally have a live streaming channel that like people actually come into and just randomly pop into, you can believe me when I say I'm grateful for that. Like I've been an artist for something going on like maybe 4+ years, but I've been trying to build a YouTube channel for like 8, almost 10 years, and I think just recently have I had the opportunity to actually have people join in. You know, some wonderful people become part of my streams and experience this. So normally you don't allow yourself to watch shorts. However, you're currently going through some tough times. Allowed watch this as a treat. You love micro streamers. You speak to them and form a connection. So a lesser parasocial relationship. All right, Katie. Well, Katie Cat, what sort of stream have you wanted to start? Let's chat, Katie. As someone who's been looking to build channels for many, many years, I'm not a mega streamer, right? You know, I don't have thousands of people, hundreds of people watching me play Tetris and donating. But, you know, I think I can at least be helpful in that sense. So do feel free to share if you want to talk about the channel ideas that you've been wanting to build. And here we go. So I'm gonna bring the hair around. LOL. Plan on doing a variety channel since you have so many hobbies. You are indecisive. Busier, what you making? You don't have to tell us if it's personal, but you know, do feel free to pop in. Just that's one thing about live streaming that I've learned that I feel like goes very unappreciated in real life is, and you know, in real life and off stream is people in real life, like they don't allow you to just kind of like share your thoughts randomly. They don't allow you to, you know, if you're walking down the street, you can't just like chat with somebody and be like, oh hey, you know, I was just over at that restaurant, it's delicious. You know, they'll be like, oh, why are you talking to me? Why are you telling me about, you know, going to this restaurant? But here's a skill, but it's funny because on the internet, that's actually a skill that helps you build a channel, is just randomly talking about whatever the heck is on your mind. That's one thing I had to learn as a streamer because I would constantly get these warnings about, you know, not talking enough or not being active enough. So, you know, boost your, I say that to say this, you know, obviously real life is different, but hey, just pop in and share whatever you like, you know, whatever pops into mind. That's what the internet is for people to find their tribes, their communities, whatever that may be. And obviously, if you don't want to share, you don't have to, but you are encouraged to talk about what you wanna do. So here we go. We're gonna pop in here and I'm gonna pop in here and bring in. Let's bring in a couple shadow, a little bit of shadow here. We're gonna bring in light shadow. Very dramatic dark shadow right there. And let's see. You're not talking a lot because you're making something. You get advice off the niche down, essentially picking one thing and doubling down on it. Seeing this blow up in so many people's faces. Once their niche died, their channel did too. A random waterfall that you're coloring. Hey, awesome. You're making art, Boostior fam. That is awesome. Great. Great to be able to make work together. Waterfalls are fantastic. They are incredibly powerful and awe-inspiring. And let me see what I can do about the hair in the hair here. So let me start with this figure, right? The bigger head. Let's start with the bigger head here. And this hair needs to come down, but needs to also pop up. I'm going to take a darker, one of the darker tones here. I'm going to color this. So, Professional is a good example. He did GTA content tutorials, realizing he backed himself in a corner with GTA, Red Dead, and GTA. His views fell drastically, like making a video warning not to do what he did. He wished he had. Well, yeah, that's cool. Well, you know. I think the issue with that is, isn't so much that he. And you watch the video, so you probably, and you're listening from them, so you probably have a better example than what he was saying. But I think gaming itself is a very specific thing, in the sense that there's a lot of games out there, and the art of gaming itself and streaming gaming is as much of a challenge as it is to find the right game and create a niche in it. But I definitely think that there's a lot of opportunity in the sense that you play a game, but you can keep adding different games and just whatever. But here's the other question to him that would make me wonder: did he say whether he could have become much more successful if he didn't niche down and just focus on GTA? That would be my question. I don't know if you got that answer from him or not. If he answered that question. But sometimes the niche that you do, I think, can really help someone build success. And then, it's a matter of pivoting from it, not so much what you should have done. But he knows better than I do because obviously he's done really well for himself. But you got to realize that sometimes creators also got to make content just to entertain people. And they might say just anything. I don't know. So anyway. So what do you feel? What do you feel you want to? Games go through ultra fast trends, so it's easy for games to die out, and they're recording channels. So would you say that the speed that they go is what's preventing you, or do you just feel like you don't have the resources? Because PS5s and like I have a PS5, and PS5 has this thing that allows you to literally just stream directly from your PS5. It's that easy. I did not realize how easy it was to stream until I got my PS5, and I thought that was pretty cool. So the niche itself isn't really the limitation. Is it the fear of, not picking the right niche or what? Plan on doing vids for survival games, art, tutorials, sewing, stationery, travels, notebooks, makeup, literally anything you're interested in. Okay, well, hey, that will be quite the variety show. And hey, Nate, what's going on? How you doing, Taco King? Well, I look forward to seeing some of your content, Katie. It sounds like you've done your research, and when you do your research, you do your research. You know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. So, is there anything that I can talk about that might be helpful, or do you just want you probably just came here just to watch me paint, right? So, I'll just do that. I'll just talk about painting. So, I'm adding these are just some subtle details that I'm adding into this piece right here, just to make the hair stand out. And it's nothing fancy. These are literally just like really simple brush marks here. But they're not very bold. That's what the problem I'm having with them is they don't feel bold. They don't feel expressive to me. And that makes for boring, bland art. So part of me feels like I need to make them more distinct, but the other part of me is like, you know what? They're doing the job. They are creating this effect of of a textured hairstyle. Situation, resources, and mental health. All right, cool. Well, thanks, Katie. Great to have you here. The thing is, I do get quite a lot of artists, and some of them happen to be artists that are trying to figure out how to do things like how to get better at painting. I've had some people ask me to critique their drawings, so having gotten into that experience, I sometimes forget that not everybody wants a a lot of people just want to come watch and hang out, and I have to appreciate that. So thanks for tuning in. Really glad you could be here. And I only hope that the work that I do is somehow beneficial to your creative process. So here we go. Gonna get this hair right here. And pop in some hair down here. Hey, don't let the cats fool you. They've been fed.
Okay. Ooh, cold in here.
It's hot out there.
No, it's not hot out there.
You want to turn off the air conditioner?
Yes.
Go turn it off.
It's 74 outside.
All right, let's open the windows.
Yes.
So yeah.
Hi.
Well, Katie, if there's anything else, you can initiate
69?
the subject of conversation. It was really hot in here, babe. I swear it was really hot in here.
It's really cold.
Maybe that's because I was out there doing the car, and then I came back in here, and I was like, okay, it's hot. But
Did you go test drive yet?
yeah, I already did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It works well?
Yep. I successfully changed my spark plugs by myself
Wow.
on my first try.
I'm impressed. Wow.
Yes.
This
Is it sexy?
Yeah. Sexy car guy.
So that's my girlfriend, by the way. That's Kathleen.
Hi.
She has come back home. And here we go. So let's go like this. Got the ears. You know what's funny is up close these strokes kind of look like funky, but when you see them from a distance, when you kind of look at them from the view of the screen, they actually look okay. I find that interesting. But maybe they just need to be more subtle. I'm trying to decide whether I want to go all in on this hair or whether I just want to leave it as is.
I think the bedroom's hot. I know the air was on there. That's kind of cool.
I feel like this should just be a painting that I just kind of leave as is. You also plan on making videos on a game called Vintage Store. It's a tougher, more realistic Minecraft. The game has inspired you to do YouTube. You may start next year, though. No guarantees. Why not? Why not next month? Why not next week? Why not? Why?
Oh, good watermelons. They look like bongo.
The what?
They look like bongo drums.
You thought they were bongo drums?
They look like it.
But did you think they were bongo drums? Huh?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Because they're not bongo drums.
Right. Eat your food.
All right, you know what? I can't just leave this hair as is. I look at this and I'm like, this isn't me. This is not my style. This is not the way I like to do things. I feel like the hair I have to do something to the hair. So, I think we're gonna work with a bigger brush on this one, and he's gonna get locks of hair. Why is this brush always getting so stiff? So yeah, it looks really nice. You feel that's the fun in art. It looks wanky up close and fabulous from afar. Yeah. Like I'm looking at it from the camera, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. It's pretty decent. And then up close, I'm like, it needs some work. It needs some style. It needs some spunk, some pizzazz, some fun. So what we're working on right now, I want to tighten up this face right here. This head is a bit too distinct of a area. I think that the light areas are a bit too bright, and this piece right here is a bit too dense. So we're going to bring this piece in a little bit. But also looking from the distance is also really helpful because it gives you an idea of like what the eye's kind of taking in as a whole, I think. And I think that was helpful for the neck. Reason you can't next month is because your circumstance, you don't want to. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's one thing. So that's one thing here. Let's go like this. I am working on the head, working on some of the highlights here. And let's go into the hair. Let's work on some of this fun hair, shall we? Let's make this hair more exciting. Let's make it pop. Hair is such a unique thing. Hair is such a unique and beautiful thing that it's taken me many years to appreciate. Simply because I had the same haircut from the age of like 7 years old until I was like 28 is when I started trying out new hairstyles. And this is the longest my hair's ever been. Flipping the painting does work. That's right. So flipping the painting works. I'm not gonna flip it now because I have these different shaped heads, and let's go down in here, down in here. Oh yeah, by the way, that is one great thing about digital art though, that is hard with physical art. I mean, it's not that hard, but you know, you make it harder than it really is. I make it harder than it really is, but with digital art, it's so easy to flip a painting. It is so easy to just, you know, flip it around and give it like, you know, a design. So I'm trying to decide where this hair originates from. So it looks like it's like from the top here. So I'm going to use some of these brush strokes to create this effect. Doesn't need to be that dark up there. So I'm using this color basically as like a highlight for the top of the head. And we're going to continue going down. All right. All right. You promised you'll start ASAP once it's possible. Okay, I'm glad to hear. Thank you. In the back of my head, I want to like do that, like give that motivational like pep talk. And I actually am trying to hold back. So I appreciate you saying that. But I also realize at times that most people like you can't always just get started right away, and it's important to realize that and appreciate that. So thank you for that. And let's see. What type of paints am I using? I'm using a wide variety of paints. I'll show you a few in a second. Let me just get this part of the head done. I want to add some of these highlights nice and deep for So what type of paints are these? I believe that I use like 10 different types of paints. I got Winsor Newton for the big tubes. I use a lot of Vincent Van Gogh brand, which is by Dale Rowney, I believe. Royal Talens. Some of this white. I use the white. For the white, I'm using some Gamblin. Just the regular Gamblin, not the Gamblin 1980. Some of my umbers. For some of the browns, I'm using Utrecht for the burnt sienna, and some of the Gamblin. This is the Gamblin 1980, and I have Gamblin here.
Okay.
And I believe my yellow is a Gamblin 1980. These blues, this blue is a Van Gogh blue. This red is a Van Gogh red. But this is a Gamblin 1980 yellow. And I don't know exactly what colors. These are like whites and browns. I forget what specific brands I use there, but yeah, I hope that helps to answer some of your inquiries. So let's bring in a little bit of green. I want to bring in a hint of green into this. Nice, Boussior. Oh yeah, the oils. That was your question. What's up, Boussior? How's the progress on your creation? How is the progress on your new creation? Do you have any stories to tell of your adventures? Boussior has returned with adventures to share. Good, awesome. Mark Dietz, what's going on, Mark Dietz? How you doing? It's been a few hours. Let's add a little bit more green to this. Mark Dietz, what is up, Mark? I'm just watching your paint choices. Where is Helar from? Is that like from a certain country, or did you just making that up? Gouache, plein air, sketching with gouache. Yeah, I have wanted to get myself a good gouache set at some point, because I know like how convenient it is to use in plein air. Usually when I do plein air, I have to bring this entire set with me, and it can be really annoying to have to do so. And honestly, I feel like it does prevent me from doing more plein air painting because of how much it takes to actually bring a full painting set out to locations compared to if I was just doing like a little gouache kit. Or even watercolor. Actually, instead of gouache, I was thinking instead of gouache, I was thinking I would just do like watercolor. I think watercolor would be, because like I think a gouache is pretty similar to oil, right? Like as far as the overall texture. So I was thinking doing something different that feels different enough. Let's do a blue zone where we can get really light blue into this. I've ever heard a channel called Draw Mix Paint. He makes his own and it almost looks like he's painting with honey. You know what? I don't have enough space to paint, to start making my own, to manufacture my own paint. And you know what? Honestly, manufacturing my own paint is not a goal of mine.
Hi, guys.
I know, like, that it used to be a really big thing, like back in the day, but you know what? I don't really want to do that. And I think my girlfriend wouldn't allow me to like, I feel like if I attempted to start manufacturing my own paint, my girlfriend would literally like step her foot down and be like, "No, this is it. I've had enough." Am I right, Kat?
Yes.
Like, you know, it's enough that I have to work out of here rather than a
Next
studio.
it'll be a meth lab.
It's enough that, you know, this is like a studio, a small space that we're using it for a studio for artwork. But if we were to change it into an entire manufacturer of art paints, I'd have to be making a lot of money from it. I think she'd be okay with it if I made a lot of money from the paints, but
I know you ate.
as far as manufacturing goes, yeah, that's not on my list.
That's weird. The microwave just turned itself on, but there's no.
Oh, turn it off. Turn it off.
How do I turn it off?
Close it. Push it. Open it.
Why are you yelling at me?
Oh, I didn't know why you turned it on, but the food's in there. I didn't want you
I
to.
took it out already.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It turned on by itself.
I know. That's why I said turn off, because I didn't know you took it out.
Yeah, I took the food out. I thought you expected it to blow up or something.
Okay, well, there's food. There's all the. There is like There's packets of metal stuff in there.
Well, it turned itself on. I was trying to figure out why would it do that.
Okay, well that's why I told you to turn it off, is because I didn't want the stuff that was in it.
There's no timer set.
Okay, all right. Are we cool? Huh?
Weird.
All right. Ah, real life drama. You love making your own paint. You make your own gouache and your own paints? That's pretty awesome. Do you sell them? I'm gonna add some of these highlights into this hair, right? This guy right here. Let's give him some highlights in his hair. He's got a mean mustache. You even make your own gouache. Fun fact, making gouache is the same process as watercolors. The only difference is calcium carbonate. So, can you give us a rundown on how you can make watercolors? I'd actually like to know if there's an easy way to make watercolors. No, no, never mind. Don't tell me, because I'm going to buy a bunch of supplies that I shouldn't be buying. And going to try it when I could just buy a kit of watercolors, save a ton of space. Again, I got to remember that space is definitely a limitation for me until I get a bigger studio. One day, when I make enough off of my work, I can create a big studio. But until then, you know, I do have limitations. My limiting belief is that I can't have more stuff. But here we go. So anyway, let's do this. I'm going to keep painting this in, painting these features in, painting this. You're still telling me anyway, because I fun at making gouache. You just give away to friends and people who need paint most. Often you only make enough for me, or for you, yeah. Alright, well that's cool, that's nice of you. So let's go like this. We're gonna go... Yeah, feel free to tell me, I'm open to hearing. I feel like I had to make a funny sound. So let's go like this. I'm gonna paint this down around the ear. The only thing to fear is fear itself. Okay, and then we're gonna go around this hair. I think we're gonna start a blue hair trend here. I actually like this blue hair. I might have to dye my hair blue. What's up, Edie Sedgwick? What's going on? What's up, Edie from NYC, New York City? I'm from the opposite coast, which means 8, 9, 10. It is 11, almost midnight where you live. So happy midnight, Edie. What's going on? All right, look at everybody becoming friends instantly. Isn't that great when you can have somebody pop in your room and they're just like, hey, they just become the friends with everybody. That's awesome. That's great. Oh, you're in NYC too. Awesome. See, look, everybody's like suddenly very close friends. It's Monday night. Well, I guess if you live in a city, it must be around the same time, right? It's like you two are meant to connect.
Here we go. Sure. Oh, boy, curious.
What is Fern doing?
We had a alert. They heard a voice outside, and they both like paid attention.
Ooh, together at the same time?
Yes.
Aye.
Sim was kind of lazy, so he didn't stand up.
Fern stood up?
She got alert. She she didn't sit down. She not stood up on her hind legs. She stood up like this. She was just like this.
Very cute.
Simba was looking too, but she did not. Alert. Yeah, I like that.
Cat has spoken. Does she approve or disapprove?
Ooh, she wants her treat. Did you eat it already? Nope. She likes it. I just put the. I crushed up the pill and I put it. It's like a meatball. She likes it.
I have to fix it up. So, Edie, am I by a road? It sounds like cars are going by. Yes, I am by a road. I have to paint with my doors open because these are oil paints, and oil paints have this very crazy, distinct smell, especially when I work with like certain chemicals that help manage the paints. So it helps to fumigate the room.
Oh, good. Oh, that's too bad.
Is it obnoxious? Is it very distracting, those sounds? Scranton, Pennsylvania, where they filmed The Office. Katie Cat, you live in Pennsylvania. I've never lived in Pennsylvania. I've been in New York City. New York City is an amazing city, one of the best. I can agree to that. That is one of the best cities on the planet, one of the greatest ever. I love New York City. It is a wonderful, fantastic city. Oops, time to clean this brush again. Yeah, or else I get high as they dry, or I just get a huge headache and I have a tough time sleeping.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah, that's right. But let's go ahead and paint this ear, and I think we're going to be done with this.
Yeah, Thursday's great.
I've reached a point where I think I don't necessarily want to work this further. I've gotten as much of the details as I want to. I like the being able to flex with the hair, the effects from the hair, and I feel like like Pulsar is your favorite favorite color. So for those of you that have been here for a minute, Katie, Mark, and Busior. I don't know if y'all are here, Katie, Mark, or Busior. I know Edie, you're here, but I'm specifically looking for people that have been around. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do a special thank you somewhere on here for y'all being in this live room. So we're gonna throw a little thank you, Katie. So TY. Some more red. Thank you, CA. D. I. E. All right, so I threw a little thank you up here. I don't know if you can see that, but that is TYCADIE. As a thank you for having stuck around for quite a few hours. You are part of this painting. Usually I do that for either people that give a super, or if on my TikTok they give a gift, or people that literally just stick around for long enough and create a fun and exciting room, because you know what, I can't do this myself. And yeah, you know what, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, it's all about the experience. And as an interactive artist, I try to create as much interaction as possible. But I think I'm done with this painting. I don't really have too much more that I want to do here. Where shall I put my own signature? Let's go right down here. Let's see. Fergus SON. Yes, I do have to spell my own name out loud in case I forget a letter. So that's what we got for my personal signature. But anyway, Katie Cat, never played pool before. Wow. All right. So never played pool before. All right, you know what? I'm gonna actually call this a wrap for tonight. I streamed about quite a few hours earlier, and if I keep painting, I'm just gonna want to do more and more. But I feel like I want to keep this painting where it's at, because I could definitely just keep adding to it and adding to it. But I kind of like it where, decisions, people. Like I have this part of my mind that's like, I just saw these marks that I made, and I really like them. I really like these little marks. They add a lot of character to this piece. But then part of me is also like, you know what? I should just leave it as is. This is kind of cool the way it is. And you know what? I could make it cooler and more interesting, but I don't know. What does my creative mind say? I don't know. Hey, take care, Katie. Thanks so much. Oh, TYSM means thank you so much. And Edie. So isn't Edie Sedgwick an actor? Yes. You know what? I think I'm going to leave it here. Edie, thanks for being here. You know what, Edie, since you're here and I gave a special thanks to Katie, you know, I'll also include ES as an initial somewhere. But your name's not even Edie Sedgwick. Oh yeah, Edie Sedgwick is a muse. So, you know, I don't even think there's a point of me putting ES as initial, because I don't really know if it even symbolizes you. But anyway, Edie Sedgwick, that name did sound familiar. Warhol's most famous muse. Wow, alright, so I have Warhol's most famous muse in the room right now.
Is she a model?
Huh?
Is she a model?
I'm sure she was a model. Yeah, but, so here we go. One of my recent paintings was criticized for being heavily overmarked, and people didn't like the colors. So I feel like I do want to take You know, although I feel like part of me wants to do so much more as far as the bold mark making goes, I feel like part of me also wants to just leave this one fairly plain. And there's a bit of that mark making spirit, but I have to leave it. I'm going to not push this further than it needs to go. It is good as it is. I'm trying to convince myself not to do more. Edith is your real name, and many have told you that you look like her, but for safety's sake. Ah, so E. I'm just gonna lay down an E for you. As a thanks for being here at the end of the night. Let's go with an E. I'm gonna hide an E into here. Since you popped in last minute. It's actually really hard to see, but that's okay. Katie was here for like over an hour, so or at least it felt like an hour. God of War, maybe? Greek game. But hey, let's do this, people. Let's have a good night. I know it's late out where y'all are at. I don't know. Has it been an hour? I feel like you were here for an hour. Maybe a half an hour. But we're going to call this a night. And stay tuned for another stream. I don't always schedule my streams. But hopefully y'all stay tuned. Take care, Edie and Katie. See you around.